Welcome back to the
Part
Jesse
5?
Lopez Part 7 of the Jesse Lopez podcast.
15-minute blacklist
Yeah.
blackmail podcast.
Blackmail podcast, the only podcast worth listening to.
The only podcast where the co-host is a victim.
Actually, every single one of my co-hosts is a victim that's being blackmailed and coerced into saying shit they never would say
We're willing
openly.
to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't cried yet, but I know it's coming. In part 10, when we get there. Oh my.
No, I feel I don't want to edit anything, but I have to because there's just so long. The podcast, everybody has so much to say,
I mean, there's a lot to fucking. Life isn't easy, man. You gotta talk about a lot of shit to get through it.
Yeah, and shit. I think it's great that it's just gonna be talking.
Yeah.
No skits, which that has their
No
play.
sound effects.
No
Wait,
sound.
You said what?
Whoa!
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And when you're not saying anything right, I just press the cricket.
Dude, oh fuck! I forgot who I was listening to. Oh no, I was talking to Tim Williams. We were talking about this, and he said the first time he ever did stand-up, it was like 5 people. And they weren't on board, and a guy literally pulled up on his phone the sound of crickets and played it.
First time
during a set. He just had crickets playing in the background.
Man, the way I deal with hecklers is just completely obliterating them, no matter if I lose the crowd.
Man. I love hecklers, man. I think I eat them up. It's so much fun, man. It's so at this point, it's so much fun.
Well, you smile and you're fucking so likable. You're very likable as a character.
Can I as a character?
You're right here.
You know, like in Bugs Life, you killed it.
You're garbage right now, but as a character.
No, dude, I was doing the show and I asked the guy a question and he said his thing or whatever, and then I did my punchline and then he kept talking. And then I go like this, I go, all right, your time is up. And I kept going to my jokes. And dude, people fucking died. That guy shut the fuck up. It was this weird moment where it was like, I was the bully in class, but everyone loved me. And they all laughed when I made it. I'm like, hey, this guy's a nerd, right? And everyone's like, yeah, he's a fucking nerd. Shut the fuck up, nerd. And I was like, yeah, I'm the king. Like, I felt so good. It felt so good to shut that guy down. Just being like, all right, your time is up.
Oh man, I gotta remember that. I have.
Dude, it worked so great.
The only ways I shut a heckler down is tell them to go fuck themselves or threatening to fuck them. I'm gonna get off the
solid ways.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off the stage. I'm gonna fuck you right in your ass.
Listen, if
in
you
front
think
of your
my
girlfriend.
comedy's bad, wait till I rape you.
I say fuck. Rape is a horrible word that I can't use.
I saw Martin Urbano one time deal with a heckler so well. Every time this guy talked, he's like super fucking drunk. He goes, please no heckling. Please no heckling. I said no heckling. He just kept saying that every time that guy talked, and the more he did it, it just became funnier and funnier. I don't know. It was good. It was good.
No, actually, me and him grew up in the same town.
Oh, in Brownsville.
Brownsville, Texas.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are very similar in style.
Complete opposites.
Yeah. It's very funny. Well, did you ever see him when he started out there?
No, shit, man. When I moved here, he was probably like fucking 14. He's fucking young.
How long have you been in Austin then?
6 years.
6 years.
Been doing comedy for 4.
Interesting. So, okay, well, let me ask you this. Like, what was like the catalyst to make you start doing comedy? What was the moment where you felt like, I'm a fucking comic, and you had a good fucking moment in comedy?
The catalyst that made me do comedy is that I was at an open mic that I did not know was going on. It just sprung up.
Okay.
One of my best friends ever is Aaron Orocha. He was hosting that mic, and he every time he had like 4 comics. Yeah, he had like 4 comics, 6 comics, whatever it was, around the mid show. He was like, "This is my favorite part of the show. This is where I ask comics that did not sign up or are not in the comedy scene or whatever
wow. Yeah.
to go up."
Wow, that's an interesting
And I
way
went
to
up
take a run. That's fucking crazy, man. No one does that. That's a very random thing to have
Yeah,
happen.
and
you went up?
I went up because I was complaining. I was like, man, these guys suck. I could do better. And
I
my
got a
girlfriend's
lot
like,
better Mexican jokes.
yeah, I got way better fucking jokes than that motherfucker out there, the dizzy
Yeah, yeah.
piece of shit. And
Yeah.
my girlfriend kept on daring me. It's like, Anna's like, okay, go up then. You fucking sign up. Sign up on the fucking list.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Okay.
And then she told me that again. I was like, no. I just fucking was like, I'm just gonna sit here like an asshole, eat my own words. And the third time she said it, I was like, you know what? I am gonna go up. And I started writing shit on a napkin.
Yeah.
And then he said
And
that
that's been
shit.
your act ever since.
And
You never told a different joke.
the same 5 minutes over and over, just like everyone here in Austin. Yeah, half of these people in Austin don't change their jokes. That's me.
Yeah, dude, it's a terrible fucking crutch to get yourself in.
And I did that. I got a lot of fucking laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's like kind of like Viagra jokes, you know.
I hear a lot of that, dude. A lot of people who their first time they did it went really well, and then from there on out, not so great. I've heard that from a decent amount.
It went very, very well because I only did that like 3 weeks in a row, 2-3 weeks in a row, and then I got a show at East Avenue Lounge. I ended up being a bouncer there.
Okay.
But before that, I was there.
Yeah.
And there was these fucking like dirty fucking Mexicans heckling me.
Okay.
And I stopped and I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And the guy in the front row, he's like, you should make fun of how women smell like rice because they're always in the kitchen. And I just went blank and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand. He's like, they make rice. They smell like rice because they're always in the kitchen cooking. Dude, and that's why they smell like rice. And I'm like, what?
Thing. Where both the comic and the audience like need therapy, but they're not willing to go through with it. So he's just like, talking about how my wife smells like rice, but instead he's saying other women. We see a lot of comics who's like, this guy just needs to talk to somebody. And that audience member's like, talk about rice and how women smell like it, and they hate their mom's name Janice.
No, and hate their mom, yeah, named Janice. Oh God, no, and I did need therapy because about maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, before I did my first set, I had gotten arrested for the second time, and they told me that I needed anger therapy.
Oh, really?
For it. And I was like, fuck you. I ain't taking shit. My lawyer actually is like, you need to take this. Like, there's no fucking way around it. And I was like, no. Fuck them. We're going to trial. He's like, no. You need to take it. And
was this because of that mic? Or from
before that. Okay, yeah. I got drunk. I kicked open my door. And some cops came in. I started arguing with them.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we're taking you in. And I had all these fucking charges on me. And my lawyer, he was pretty good. He's a really good lawyer. You know, he's got me out of more trouble than that. I got in trouble before and after that.
He got me out of that Hitler joke that I did for too long.
Yeah, Jesse, my lawyer came and said, Jesse, maybe you shouldn't use the word faggot so much.
Like, literally, I'm gay and I'm not okay with this. But it is slightly funny, which is more than not funny.
No, and I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of anger for like 2 years. I wrote that anger. I wrote it like a fucking dog sled.
Well, it's a weird thing. So, do you feel like the material that came out of that is something you still use?
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, I had about like a few months in, I had about 18 pages of raw material untested, and I've been going back to that shit and rewriting it in now that I know how to kind of work the crowd.
Well, what's like the best case scenario for you for doing stand up then?
Best case scenario is that I'm gonna fucking tour rotten clubs, like fucking shit clubs that nobody knows, or bars. That's the best case scenario. But
like in terms of your style of comedy, I guess.
Shit, man, there can only be one Doug Stanhope, you know, one fucking, you know, Bill Burr kind of shit. I don't hold myself as making a living on it.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you're writing jokes, at what point do you just say, "This is how I wanted to write this joke, or this is
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I write the joke the way I want it to write.
That you think
to
is
be
this,
written.
like, the peak of the funniness. That this.
The peak of the
has
funniness,
outfit.
yeah. And it could be not even punchlines. It could just be me, fucking making fun of this homeless man, telling them he's gonna die on a pile of leaves, and like it's funny to me and it's funny to a lot of people.
Dude, a lot of people will laugh at shit that. So, Austin. Okay, I was trying to do a bit about this. Or Austin has this idea that. Like comedy's like a specific thing or whatever, but I feel like I forget what I was gonna say. Sorry, keep going.
No,
I lost my train of thought mid thing.
It's too many beers. It's already 5 beers and 3 shots. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna add up slowly. Listen to the Jesse Lopez podcast where it's 10 hours of him talking to one other person.
Yeah. Just getting drunk, having fun. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, I mean, this is better therapy than anything else I could pay for.
I'll send you the bill, though.
Like, most therapy should just be a podcast. Like, oh, we're not all that bad.
Yeah.
We overthink a lot of things that don't fucking matter at all. I don't know, man. Comedy's a weird thing where people get way too fucking in their own head, where it ruins it and it becomes a thing that they like think there's a vendetta against them, or they think there's like this giant world that exists that's like not around them. But in reality,
I created that world. That's a vendetta.
Yeah, I mean, it totally is real though for you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I totally think like people get way too in their head where it's like, dude, if I died tomorrow, no one gives a fuck about.
Nobody's gonna give a shit.
What about the other bits or like, oh, I wanted to tell this bit, but fucking this Skylark bar wouldn't allow it. It's like, no one gives a fuck. It doesn't matter at all whatsoever. So, like, I like what Mikey Swenson once told me about Patrice O'Neill, where he said, what's great about Patrice O'Neill is he got to a point where he's like, oh, so I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life, right?
Uh-huh.
So why the fuck would I just keep saying the same bullshitty things over and over again? Let me just talk to people and let my humor come out of that, but it's me talking, so it's a real moment, because I can't exist telling the same bullshit story about something that I really truly don't give a fuck about over and over and over again. I gotta fucking be a part of their life, my life, we're in this together kind of thing. And to me, that's a big moment of learning, like, comedy can be amazing. Comedy can be a thing that's like, we're connected through this story or whatever the fuck I'm talking about, and it's not that great, but we're still in it together kind of thing. It's not like, man, here's my one-liner, here's my next setup, here's my next punchline, it's like, no, I'm just fucking talking to you. You're people, I'm people, we're people. I like that. That to me is like comedy.
Yeah, I want to go up on an hour just fucking saying what I feel. I mean, of course there has to be punches. You have to.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do it for the audience a little.
I bet a podcast would fill that void. Do you think they would fill your void for you?
Well, I'm doing this fucking podcast.
Yeah, like, do you feel good about it? Like,
I do. I get to interview like great people. I mean, shit. There has not been a host that interviewer. Guest?
Yeah.
It hasn't been a guest that I didn't think was fucking just great at whatever that person does at comedy to comedy.
Well, it's a weird thing where when you start doing stand-up, you have your idea of what comedy is, and then you start doing it and you realize like what I'm trying to do may not necessarily fit in what I thought comedy was, and then you have to decide like, do I try to fit what I'm trying to do into what is the mold of what comedy I've been sold as, or I'm doing it slightly my own way kind of thing. So like
it's my own way. I did go to that point where fine, I have to punch it up.
Yeah.
For the audience, but it's my way. It's my way. I mean, shit. I can get kicked out or fucking not be appreciated anywhere, but it's gonna be my way, and that's it.
Well, so it's that to me is like a cool and shitty thing, where it's like it's cool because it's like you're standing up for what you give a fuck about, and that is always fucking cool. When anyone stands up against the whole fucking world and says "fuck you," this is how my dick stands.
Well, yeah,
we're doing it. But then also it's like you can have way more opportunities if you're willing to settle with not saying everything exactly how you want to.
Well, I mean,
I think that leads to you being able to like. So like a headliner can say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
An opener can never say anything that they want to say. A feature can slightly sneak in a few things, but not so much. And to me, that's where I want to be right now. That's the next step of I want to be able to say some things that maybe not everyone fucking laughs at, but it's what I want my comedy to be. And it's not I'm not a headliner yet, but a headliner, free range. An opener is where most of us are at, where it's like I got to follow these fucking rules so I can get more gigs kind of thing.
Yeah, man, the way I see comedy is like I'm doing this comedy because of the love for it, the love that I have for it. I'm not gonna change my style or views.
Well, who are your top comics, guys?
Top comics, it's Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, dude, I'm glad you said that because a lot of people they forgot about him already.
Well, they forgot about him because I mean he passed away. He's not he wasn't a big thing when people were growing up.
Totally.
But no, he Triumph, the insult comic dog.
That's so funny. That's like saying like a puppet from like Jeff Dunham. I really resonate with the Islamic Jeff Dunham. That's so fucking funny. That's so good, man.
I'm here crying. I was like, this guy's my hero.
That stupid fucking puppet with a cigar in his mouth. Yeah, that's who I am as a person. and since I'm not sponsored by TBS, no one gives a fuck.
Oh God, no, and it's George Carlin, of course.
Oh yeah, fuck. Of course, fucking George
Richard Pryor, Lenny Bruce. I didn't think he was that good. But
what Lenny Bruce did you listen to? I think that's the fucking.
I've listened to mostly all of his shit. I've listened to him bomb and just fucking go out on rants and shit like that.
A lot of people who I'm gonna interject real quick. A lot of people who don't like Lenny Bruce are people who listen to his last shit, where it was him defending himself in court, and that's not his comedy. He's basically trying to defend his comedy and make it funny, which isn't his comedy. True Lenny Bruce is even before that.
No, but he has a rhythm. Yeah, he has a rhythm to it. He's like, oh, so what do we got here? 2 kikes, a spick, a nigger, and a whatever. Yeah. And he's like, and he does that rhyme, and then it flows so fucking well. And of course, I mean, I'm
glad you said Richard Pryor. He's a comic that I haven't paid enough attention to.
I have not paid
George Carlin person, but I've never heard a joke from Richard Pryor. I didn't like, but I've never actually watched his specials all the way through. Same with Eddie Murphy. Like,
oh man,
Eddie Murphy, I did not like. I didn't like Eddie Murphy's stand-up.
Eddie Murphy is one. Only by his 2 specials. You just watch those 2 specials.
Yeah.
And don't listen to any of this other shit.
You think it's good?
Yeah, that's enough for me to be like, really? This guy's one of the top 10 comics ever.
I think, to me, Dave Chappelle's half hour for HBO.
Dave Chappelle,
that is the best half hour I've ever listened to in my life. I think that's the funniest half hour I've ever listened to in my life. I've never heard stand up funnier in 30 minutes than what he did in that half hour.
No, he is a great comic.
Yeah.
Jesus, he's in top 10 easily, all time.
But wait, keep going. Sorry.
I kind of like lost track. We've been drinking so much.
It's a morning booze that caught up with us quickly.
It's not even noon yet, is it? And we're fucking wasted.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, there's like 12 bottles on
There's 1 o'clock.
Oh shit.